Okay, so we just talked about yesterday or a few days ago about the decision by Joe Madden to intentionally walk Corey Seager with the bases loaded and already losing. A lot of people second guess that. A lot of people question that. Here we have a really smart decision by a manager, Buck Showalter, someone that I had the opportunity to play for a little bit during my time with the Orioles. And I'm going to break down the situation. Then I'm going to tell you a little bit about Buck Showalter and about my experience being with him as a manager and how prepared he was and just my overall thoughts on him. So we've got the Mets against the Diamondbacks here. 3-0. Dom Smith had just scored a run on a sacrifice fly. So now there's 2 outs. J.D. Davis is on first base. Now, the Diamondbacks are going to appeal that Dom Smith left early from third base. All right, and so the Mets understand this. And so now it turns out after replay that it looked like he didn't leave early, but they were going to appeal anyway. And so what the Mets decide to do is they say, we're not going to allow the Diamondbacks to appeal. They must have thought it was close enough that they did not want the Diamondbacks to appeal the play, throw the ball over the third base, call Dom Smith out for leaving early, and now instead of it being 3-0, it goes back to 2-0 and the inning is over. And so what the Mets do is they take off for second base, okay? So how the appeal process works, because time is out, is that basically the pitcher for the Diamondbacks has to wait for the umpire to say play ball. Once he says play ball, what normally would happen is he would step off, he would throw the ball over to third base. They would tag third base, appealing that he left early, and the umpire's going to say safe, he didn't leave early, or he's going to say out, he did leave early, and that would be the end of the inning. Well, there's a little bit of I don't know if you want to call it a loophole, but there is a way to get a team to not appeal. And what they do in that situation is exactly what the Mets did here. So the second the ball is put in play, J.D. Davis takes off for second base. Now, if the pitcher had just stepped off and not attempted to go after J.D. Davis, if he had just stepped off, threw the ball to third, were appealing that the runner left early, then they could still call him out or safe. But because J.D. Davis takes off for second and the pitcher steps off and goes after him, the appeal is now off. You cannot appeal. So what you see happen is he steps off, he goes after J.D. Davis, then you can see some players pointing, saying, no, we don't want J.D. Davis. We want to appeal to third. So then he says, oh, okay. He throws the ball over the third. Well, the appeal is now canceled because he went after a different base runner. And so now there is no opportunity to appeal. Not only that, J.D. Davis gets second base because the ball is live. It's in play. They never tagged him out. So J.D. Davis gets a stolen base, and double whammy, they cannot appeal the play. So it's a very smart decision by the Mets to do this. You ensure that you get that run. Again, the Diamondbacks weren't super prepared for this. They could have went about it a different way, and they didn't. So now let's go to being prepared for these type of situations. So they asked J.D. Davis after the game, and he said that it was all Buck Showalter. He said that they prepared. He said he talked a while about how they prepared for these type of things in spring training, where they talked about the rules. They had meetings about the rules. And this is one play that they talked about. They said in a situation, if there's going to be an appeal with runners on base, that they would give the signal to take off early. And basically what that signal was, it came from the bench. The signal was, they said he showed, like, when he comes set, go. Like that was literally the signal. When he comes set, go. And so that's what happened, right? And so this was practiced. It was explained to the players, it was practiced, and then it was implemented in the game to perfection. One team was prepared for it, one team was not prepared for it, okay? Now, let's go back to Buck Showalter, because I had the opportunity. I've actually made videos about this. If you guys go back to my other videos on Buck Showalter, sometimes it's just me randomly talking in videos about it. I don't know if I have had any dedicated videos to playing for Buck. But this is 100% what J.D. Davis said is 100% true. So I played in 2012 for the Orioles. And it was the first time in my life where we had meetings in a film room, like what you would think of as an NFL film room, right? You've seen maybe behind the scenes, you see NFL teams watching film. Doesn't really happen in baseball, at least when I played. This was the first time playing for Buck Showalter that we had film room meetings. So in our spring training complex, we had like this little, like almost like a mini movie theater room, and we would watch film in there. And we went over different types of plays that I had never experienced before. They would put it on film, they'd put it on the screen, and Buck would talk through the situation and say, if this comes up, this is how we're going to do it. There's a couple of different situations that come to mind. One play in particular that we talked about was if there was a man on third base and there was a shallow pop-up in foul territory where the first baseman, the second baseman, and the right fielder all went down the line to catch the ball, right? And so it was actually first and third. And so they would all go and catch the ball. Well, we would need the pitcher to come over to first base to be the cutoff man because both runners are going to tag, right? And so both runners tag. When the ball is caught, if both runners tag and the runner at first goes to run to second base and we threw the ball to second, the runner from third would just score automatically, right? Because you can't throw the ball to second and then get the guy out from third. And so we would set up the play where we'd have the pitcher, would have to be the cutoff man, go to the first base bag, we'd catch the ball and we'd fire it into the pitcher as fast as we could to get it in to make sure that that play didn't happen. And we'd work on the same thing to the third base side. Now, I don't even know if I've ever seen this play happen before in a game, but we talked about it in spring training. And the fact that it happened in 2012, 10 years ago, and I vividly remember this, shows that this does not happen a lot during my playing career. We did not have these types of meetings all the time. So that's just one specific example. We went over a bunch of different things on video. The other thing Buck did that was unique that I tell people about that I'd never seen before is that during games, he would have the rule book on him all the time, and he would pull the rule book out, and I'd see him because I sat on the bench a lot, and he'd pull the rule book out and look at it, and there'd be like different highlighted things on the rule book. And he would go around and ask guys about rules and situations. Like something would come up in the game and he'd bring the rule book over and ask you a question. I talked about one time, we had a first and third. I think it was a first and third. Robert Andino was our second baseman, and I was sitting on the bench watching. And a play happened, and then all of a sudden, like I'm watching the game, and then all of a sudden, like I get a little tap, and Buck's standing next to me, and he says, if you're playing second base in that same situation and they do this, what are you doing there? And I had to really quickly, like thankfully I was paying attention to the game, and I had to kind of describe what I would have done in that situation. And he was like, okay, and he walked away, and that was it. That typically never happened, especially for me. Like here I am, I'm on the 40-man roster, but I'm on the bench. I'm soon to be sent to AAA at this point. And he's asking me about, situations in the game and what would I do. So not only preparing his best players as starters, but preparing his bench players and preparing a player like me who I never even I got sent to AAA and then got sent to the Yankees. So like I was only there for a couple of months and was making sure that I was paying attention to the game. It probably also gave him a little bit of insight into my personality, my character, to see if I was actually paying attention to the game, because I was new to the team. I'd been with the Nationals the year before and 5 years with the Padres before that. So I think it was a little bit of everything, a little bit of a teaching moment, a little bit of hey, let's see what type of baseball IQ and smarts this guy has. Let's see if he's actually paying attention. Is he in the game? Right? So I think what I noticed from my time, I always tell people, Buck's probably, and all the managers are very, very smart, obviously, but in my interactions with him in such a short period of time, I felt like he might have been the smartest baseball person that I'd been around. And again, I don't want to say that others aren't baseball smart, but in a limited time, I had a lot of opportunities to be like, wow, this guy's really smart. I've been around a lot of coaches, and I'm like, they don't seem that smart. but Buck seemed like really smart. Like I'd said, like, this guy's good, right? And I'm not the only one. A lot of people say he's a really good baseball mind. So here's just another example of it, and I wanted to give you a little bit of insight because I've been in there in those meetings and on the bench and had conversations with him and sat in his office and talked about things and all that stuff. So that's all we have. Let me know what you think about the play. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you later. If you've got hitters that you're looking to improve before the start of next season, this is essential for you. Matt Antonelli here, former Major League player, first-round pick, and college coach. With this course, we're going to show you exactly, step-by-step, how to generate power, develop bat speed, and enhance swing mechanics. Regardless of your hitter's age, this course is going to deliver advanced hitting techniques that will allow any hitter to get better and make an impact at the plate this spring. We have a full catalog of training content that you can access from anywhere at any time. This course is perfect for players, parents, coaches, instructors, and more. It offers a comprehensive package of drills and techniques that you can directly implement. Our course has helped hitters all over the country at different competition levels, and the feedback that we've received has been outstanding. The work you put in now will drive your success at the plate this spring. Get the essential knowledge that you need to take your game to the next level.